Hey guys, what's up? It's me again, your girl Tally. Straight to the point. I'm speaking to my women today. If you're a man and you have a hard time with this, then I guess I'm speaking to you as well. But us women, we have a hard time standing on business, and that's for sure. And when I say standing on business, that means saying what you meaning what you say, and then taking the correct actions and follow through after you said what you said. And that it's really apparent that's what our issue is when we are dealing with a man. All right, just to put it plain and simple, when we are in these relationships, when we are dating, when we are speaking, just talking to somebody, these are the times where we have to show someone how to treat us. That's really what dating is, isn't it? Like, you're showing someone how you want to be treated, and it's not just telling, because a lot of people, we open our mouths and we do a lot of telling, and we give away all the gems. When I say give away the gems, it's like when someone asks you, like, what are you looking for? And then you're giving them the whole game plan of what you're looking for without just chilling and waiting for that person to just reveal what they truly are, who they truly are, so you can evaluate if who they truly are is right for you. So, and that's giving away the game, and that's something that you shouldn't do. But what I'm really talking about is, let's say you're just starting to talk to somebody, you're just starting to date somebody. And I don't know for you, but for me, I'm the type of person, like, if we're talking, if we're dating, I feel like you should call me every day. We should speak every single day. Like, I feel like that is just like minimum, bottom line, basic things. Like, that's nothing for me to go back and forth. That's nothing. I don't even feel like I should have to tell you that, because I feel like people know that. And even if you don't know that, if someone hasn't expressly told you that, you haven't learned that from somewhere. Basically, since we were like teenagers, right? Since we started this stuff, you know that when you're interested in somebody, you talk to them every day, or at least you want to talk to them every day. Of course, we know certain things can happen and you just miss talking to that person for a day or so. Depending on what happens, something big could happen in either one of your lives, and then you just can't speak. We understand that goes without saying. I'm not speaking on that, but I'm speaking of if it's just regular normal things, day-to-day life going on, work, school, business, whatever you got going on, family, kids, whatever you got going on. I'm just saying, I feel like it's just like a mandatory but very basic thing to at least speak every day. And I'm not talking about texting, I'm talking about over the phone. Now, let's say if I encounter somebody, I meet somebody, and that person is calling me every other day or every few days, and every time that person hits me up, I'm like all happy to talk to them, like, finally they call me, oh my god, yay. It's like, or let's say if that person doesn't call me at all and they just texting me all the time, and I'm just so happy to text back, and I'm texting back as soon as they're texting. Like, I'm quick texting, and maybe they're even slow texting and I'm quick texting. This is me teaching someone how to treat me, right? So you gotta look at you, and you gotta see the behaviors and the patterns that you want to happen in your life, and what you're actually reinforcing in real life on the day-to-day basis, right? So if I'm all happy to speak to that person calling me every other day or every few days, or I'm texting back really fast and all that person does is text me, what I am actually reinforcing is that it's okay to not talk to me every day. It's okay to just text me and not really call and have a real conversation. And this is what I'm talking about, like how you are teaching someone how to treat you. I could say that's my standard all day long, but if I'm accepting what this person is giving me on that level, then that is actually my real standard, and that's what I'm gonna settle for. And like how I always like to say it, nobody is going to give you more than what you are settling for. Nobody's going to give you more energy, effort, time, money, nothing. Nobody's going to give you more if you're willing to settle for less. And that's on period. So we as women really need to allow our belief system, our standards, our morals, our boundaries. We really need to allow that to match up with our actions, for real, because I understand so many of us are very soft-hearted. We're nurturers by nature, and we want to be loved. Like, I feel like women was created to be loved, and we want to be cared for, and we want that love story. I know we don't believe in fairy tales no more, but we want something like that. So, but the truth of the matter is, if we actually want something like that, we have to be willing to not settle for less. And another thing is, nobody comes to us perfect, right? So if no one comes to you perfect, that means there is I don't want to say it like that, but there is like kind of like a training ground, right? And I don't take that the wrong way, because anybody, whether that's a friend, a job, a business partner, anybody that comes into your life, a romantic interest, you're going to be teaching that person how to treat you. And that is kind of a training ground. So in that training ground, you're going to be letting them know, you're going to be emotionally intelligent, you're going to be kind, but you're also going to communicate what you're going for and what you're not, what is acceptable and what is unacceptable. So in order for you to build a strong relationship, to build a good, satisfying relationship where you feel respected and you're able to respect that person the way they want to be respected, and it's prosperous and it's working and it's healthy, the only way that we'll be able to do that is if we're able to use that time to communicate our needs and communicate what's acceptable and what is unacceptable. And many of us, we're like scared to communicate our beliefs and our standards with people. Like, we're scared to do it because we feel like if we communicate this person is not going to want to be with us, this person is not going to live up to that, and I'm going to have to honor myself and cut this person off. And maybe I'm at a point in my life where I feel too weak and I want some companionship, so I don't want to cut this person off, so I'll just allow whatever. And that's exactly where we as women go wrong. If we want to see and manifest that healthy relationship, it's so important to teach your man, a man that comes into your life, how to treat you, what's unacceptable and what's acceptable. And check this out, and I believe this with all my heart. If you express something that is unacceptable and that person doesn't take it the wrong way, that person doesn't want to change, or that person pretends like they want to change and they're not really making any changes, I feel like that's just the telltale sign that that person is not for you. Because the person who is for you, they're going to want to make the right adjustments to be in your life. You know, you're not asking for something, as long as you're not asking for something outrageous, something that seems like it's immoral, but you're asking for something that in the end it will lead to you guys having a better relationship, you feeling respected and just feeling generally respected and loved and cared for. If that's what you're asking for, first of all, low-key, you shouldn't even really have to be asking for that. But the way the world is, you have to check it, and you have to let people know, like, this is the way I want to be treated. So hey, in the instance that you have to check some behavior and you have to let them know this is the way I want to be loved, cared for, appreciated, respected, then you let them know what's up. You're gonna have to let them know what it is. You're gonna have to let them know what your standards is, and you have to be willing to let them go if they cannot adhere to it, because that's the only way you're gonna get that loving, respectful, well-maintained relationship that we all want. All right, it's time to stop compromising. It's time to stop being desperate. And I say that word, and I know that's a harsh word, and I say this all the time, but I feel like every woman has a level of desperation in her heart. It's just how it was from the very beginning with Adam and Eve. You know, like women, God created us for a man. So of course a woman who is, you know, she doesn't even have to be healthy, but a woman who likes men, a heterosexual woman, no matter what state she's in, if she's heterosexual, she's gonna want a man. She's gonna want a male figure in her life. So if that's what we want, yeah, that's what we want. So it creates a level of desperation within us for a man. Now, some women, that desperation level is really high. They allowed it to get out of control. So that means at that level, they're going to tolerate whatever for a man. They feel like whatever he does, they're never going to leave him. And they just feel like they just have to tolerate everything a man does. So that woman, she goes through a lot. She's broken a lot. She probably has when it comes to relationships, for some reason she's still in one, but she has a very hopeless like mentality towards relationships. Like, this is the type of woman who probably like, every man cheats, so you better just get you one, or every man cheats, so you better just get you one that pays the bills. Like, that woman, low key, she just used her that desperate energy to be like, okay, if I'm still gonna be with a man regardless of how he treats me, but at least I'm gonna get something out of it. That's just like a kind of like a reversal or a redirection of desperate energy, right? Because if you're gonna stay with something and get treated bad, and you're willing to compromise your self-respect for some money, that's desperation for me. All right, that's what I'm gonna put it as. But I'm gonna say that there's other women, you know, you're in between, like you're gonna eventually leave, or you will leave. And there's women who, again, I aspire to be all day, every day. A woman that has her head right on her shoulders, the way it's supposed to be, and is willing to be hurt, and willing to leave a man if I feel like I'm not being respected the way I need to be respected, willing to let go. All right, that's the woman every day I aspire to be, and that's never going to be easy. It's never going to be easy to let go of companionship, especially if it's not all bad. There are some parts that are really good. There are some parts that are interesting. It's cool to speak to this person. This person gives good conversation. There's really good parts of this person. You really like this person. That's hard to give up. But as I said, I aspire to be the woman who can leave when she is not being treated the way she's supposed to be treated. Of course, yeah, we're not perfect. We're human. You check it once, you check it twice. But if nothing changes, you have to go about your business. There has to be consequences just for you. This has nothing to do with anybody else, but when it comes to you, if you value yourself the way you're supposed to be valued, there has to be consequences for someone violating your standard and your boundaries. Wherever you go in this life, whatever building, wherever place you go, there's a standard. There are rules for the way you treat this premises, you treat this organization. When you go to work, there's ways that you have to treat the place that you work at. If you have your own business, there's rules and regulations. Everywhere you go on this earth, there's rules and regulations. So when it comes to having access to you, there must be rules and regulations. And if those rules and regulations are violated in any way, there must be consequences. I'm not saying, everything you got to leave the first offense, you got to leave. But leaving has to be on that list. Absolutely. Leaving has to be a part of the consequences, because if someone feels like no matter what they do, you're not able to leave them, what is their incentive to treat you right? What's the benefit of treating you right if they could literally do anything to you and you won't leave? Like, anywhere you go on this earth, again, if there's no rules, or the rules are not enforced, you're gonna see that place is not the best place to be. That place is dangerous. It's unsafe. People don't like to go there at night. Like, when places, even everywhere has rules, but when those rules are not enforced and there's a lot of violations in whatever area, or even a person, like someone who's like that, or an area who's like that, it's not a safe place. So you have to be a safe place. You have to be a safe place to yourself. You have to protect your heart. You have to protect your mind. So in order to do that, you have to do the hard thing, and you have to be a woman of your word. You have to stand on your word. You have to teach people how to treat you, and you can't allow people to violate your standards, your boundaries, and let there not be any consequences. So the biggest thing for us women is, I'm going to put it in a way that all of us are going to understand, besides saying standing on business, we have to be willing to be hurt, to literally hurt ourselves, to walk away, to give the distance that we need for someone to realize, hey, listen, this is what it could be, even permanently. Maybe we're giving distance for a few days, a few hours, whatever it is, but we need to say, like, this is the distance I'm going to give you, and I might give it to you permanently if I'm not treated the way I expect to be treated, or I told you I wanted to be treated. And this is just so important if we really want the real thing. If you want the real thing and you don't want to settle for less, it's so important to have boundaries, to have standards, and to actually stick by them, to not allow anybody to violate them, and let them not be any consequences behind that. So guys, we really have to. This is just for the ones who want a real thing, the real thing. All right. The real relationship, or that loving, that caring, that respectful relationship. I'm just saying. So those are my words to you today, guys. And you will be tested, and you have to be able to stand your ground, and you can't play about you. You can't allow people to play in your face, and you must stand on business. All right. I'll see y'all later.